I want to do a series of small bridges. Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about defending side control. Side control is probably one of the most common defensive positions you'll get to, because somebody passes your guard, they get the side control. Especially as you're a white belt, you're learning. Side control escapes is really fundamental because, like I said, when you're first learning, you're going to end up there a lot. So we really have to know how to escape. So in my opinion, I think there are 2 or 3 ways that make the most sense to escape. And I think that if you focus all of your efforts on learning these 2 or 3 ways, this is going to be the most bang for your buck, and these escapes are going to work against really high-level people. So we've got the bridge escape, we've got the underhook escape, and those are the 2 main ones in my opinion. So let's look at them. All right, so first, okay, let's assume a bad situation where we don't even have an underhook, okay? The only thing we have is this elbow and the hip. That's the most important thing, all right? But let's just assume that he even isolates my arm. All right, so from this terrible position, first, let's say he's got a super heavy crossface. I kind of have to bend to the side, and I got to turn a little bit and like use my arm to pull his crossface off. From here, I'm going to turn my thumb down, and I'm going to do a little kind of like scoot away from him, and that should provide me the angle and distance to get my elbow back in. So now, this is the most important thing in defending side control. My elbow and his hip allows me to manage distance and get a feel for what he wants to do. Without this elbow and the hip, defending side control becomes way, way harder. So this is your priority. You always want to have this elbow and the hip. Second, if he has the underhook like this, I want to keep my arm on his back. I don't want to leave it out here for him to Kimura, Americana me, anything like that. So I leave it up here. Now, third, my knee is at his hip. And fourth, my foot goes above my knee. So we're going to do the bridge escape. If my knee is like far away and my foot is below my knee, it makes it hard to slide in to get a guard when I go for my bridge. So anyway, when I'm ready, once I have all these things in play, I'm gonna do a big bridge and I'm gonna transmit the force through my bicep. He's gonna hold on tight still, all right? But it should be enough to get my knee back in, just like this. And now I hip escape and I get my knee all the way to the other side of his hip. Here, generally people will still hold on. Okay, someone might let go, but it's also common that people will try to maintain maintain side control or some kind of control on your head and shoulders. So they're going to keep this crossface underhook. So now coming on this side, I want to connect foot to foot. I want my right hand to weave underneath, and I connect my hands like this. So now I use my foot to foot pressure in my hands to break this grip. Now if someone still tries to drive into me like this, I block the crossface. I overhook his arm, I enter the clamp, okay, and I have submission opportunities. That should always be our number one, try and submit someone from an escape. It really puts a lot of fear into your opponent and makes them think twice, like, oh wow, I had my best position, I almost got submitted. So that's always our goal, but if it's not possible, if he starts to posture up, get away, okay, we can go back to butterfly, close guard, or half guard, okay, whatever, we've escaped. Let's look at the underhook escape, which I think is one of the other high-level escapes that will work from side control. Once again, we want to make sure we have our elbow on his hip. If he has an underhook, it makes it way harder. Just another note, you can also like turn away and get your forearm underneath his neck and do the same bridge escape. With this, you can even start to set up an underhook, but let's just assume that it's a bad situation and we've got nothing. All right, so we're here. What I want to do, I want to grab his shoulder, I want to turn away a little bit and get my forearm underneath his neck. Now from here, I want to bring my hand to my chest, and pretty much I want to do a series of small bridges, almost like kips, and each time I bridge, I make a little bit of distance, and I start moving my hand down my chest like this until I can come out to an underhook. So from here, I go bridge, 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 bridge. Now I feel like I can kind of get an underhook. So now, very important is that as we come under, we don't just stay here. He can cross-face me, even if the underhook knocked me back down. So as soon as we get some angle, immediately we want to get our right hand and block the crossface like this. Now with this, we're safe, okay? Now we have some options with the underhook. You can keep your underhook here, you can bump him forward, you can go into half guard attacks that we've looked at previously on the channel. You can also wrestle up from here. If we choose to wrestle up, the grip that I prefer most is this grip here on his shin. If I get this grip, it's very difficult for him to sprawl out. If he tries to sprawl, it's quite a strong grip that I have, especially if I pull it. It's probably the strongest grip. If you go around the thigh or anything, he can easily sprawl out of that. So the best grip is going to be on the shin, and you create a bend. So now from this grip, I can scissor up come up to my knees. And now, I can even thread in like a double leg. I can come back to a shoulder crunch and go to different shoulder crunch butterfly sweeps, or you can just pull away and stand up. I always recommend going to offense, so there's a few options there. So those are my two favorite ways to escape side control. I think if you have a good bridge escape and a good underhook escape, it's almost all you need. You've got a lot of different other variations, but I think those are like the core fundamentals of escaping side control. If you have those and you master them well, you're gonna be safe most of the time in side control. If you guys enjoy my content, then subscribe for more, share it to your friends. If you guys enjoy my teaching style, consider joining my school community where I will personally coach you for free. Thanks guys, see you next time.